Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to share and subscribe the channel. The Asterian Nebula stretched across the void like a cosmic tapestry of swirling light, its beauty masking its secrets. Captain Marcus Vance leaned back in his pilot's chair, his sharp eyes scanning the glowing instrument panel of his ship, the Ecliptica. His latest mission had led him here, to the fringes of known space, chasing an anomaly that defied explanation. The anomaly was no mere energy signature, it pulsed rhythmically like the beating of a heart, radiating a signal that seemed alive. The research division back on Earth had theorized it might be a natural phenomenon, but Marcus had other thoughts. After years of navigating the galaxy, he had developed an instinct for the extraordinary, and this felt different. Personal, almost, as the ship descended into the atmosphere of Gay Roth 7, the instruments went haywire, overwhelmed by the density of the electromagnetic field. Marcus wrestled with the controls as his ship shuddered while pushing through turbulence. The planet's surface finally came into view, a dreamscape of bioluminescent forests, crystalline structures, and rivers that shimmered with light. It was a world of pure wonder, untouched by human hands. Autopilot disengaged. The ship's AI chimed, atmospheric anomalies detected, manual landing required. Marcus gritted his teeth, gripping the controls. Thanks for the warning, Ada. Let's make it gentle. The Ecliptica touched down on a soft, moss-like surface that glowed faintly underfoot. Stepping out of the craft, Marcus was enveloped in an otherworldly quiet. The air was thick but breathable, carrying a faint metallic tang. The planet pulsed with life, as if the very ground beneath him were aware of his presence. He activated his scanner and began following the source of the anomaly. The terrain grew more intricate as he ventured deeper into the forest. Towering trees emitted a soft blue luminescence, and strange jellyfish-like creatures floated in the air, their tendrils glowing with gentle hues. It felt like stepping into a living ecosystem that defied all earthly logic. Then he saw her. At first, she appeared to be a trick of the light. A humanoid figure lay crumpled at the edge of a glowing stream, her body shimmering like liquid silver under the soft moonlight. Marcus approached cautiously, his scanner reading spiking wildly. She wasn't human, that much was clear, but her form bore an uncanny resemblance, delicate, ethereal, and otherworldly. She radiated a faint, pulsating glow that matched the anomaly he had been tracking. You've been tracking? Are you? Marcus began, his voice faltering as he knelt beside her. Her eyes fluttered open, revealing irises that shimmered like opals. She didn't speak, but her presence filled the air with something intangible, a resonance that Marcus could feel in his chest. Her lips moved faintly, but the words didn't come from her mouth. Instead, they formed in his mind, clear and melodic. You are not of this world. Marcus froze, the connection startling him. It wasn't just telepathy, it was as though her voice bypassed his ears and spoke directly to his soul. No, he said cautiously, trying to keep his tone steady. I'm not. Are you hurt? Her translucent skin shimmered faintly as she struggled to sit up. Hurt? Yes, my energy is fading. I am Lena. The name resonated in his mind, carrying an ancient weight. I'm Marcus, a captain, explorer, I guess you'd call me. What happened to you? She winced, pressing a hand to her chest where the glow seemed to dim. The core, it is sick. My kind is gone. I remain to protect it, but the curse grows stronger. I cannot hold it back alone. Her words were fragmented, but the urgency in her voice was clear. Marcus glanced at his scanner, which now emitted a low hum. It wasn't just detecting energy, it was responding to her. He reached out his hand, hovering near her shoulder. Can I help? Her opalescent eyes met his, and for a moment, he felt like he was being seen on a level he didn't fully understand. She nodded faintly. You're kind. Your touch, it is different, it may stabilize me. Unsure of what to expect, Marcus gently placed his hand on her shoulder. The moment his skin met hers, a surge of warmth shot through him, a connection that transcended the physical. Her glow pulsed brighter, and she let out a soft, melodic gasp. "You," she whispered, her voice trembling with something between awe and relief, "you are not like them. Your energy, it harmonizes with mine." Marcus pulled his hand back, startled. "What does that mean?" Lena struggled to her feet, her movements graceful despite her weakened state. "It means you are unlike anything I have encountered. Your energy may be the key to saving my world, but it will require more than a touch." Her words sent a chill down Marcus's spine, but curiosity and determination outweighed his hesitation. "What do I need to do?" she asked, looking at him with a mixture of hope and sorrow. "The core is deep beneath the surface, guarded by a rift that will test both of us. It will require a bond, a connection of energy strong enough to pass through its chaos. Alone, I cannot do it, but together, perhaps." Marcus hesitated, the weight of her words sinking in. This wasn't just an exploration anymore, it was a mission of survival for both her and this world. He looked at the shimmering alien before him, her presence both fragile and powerful for reasons he couldn't fully explain. He felt a pull toward her, a desire to help that went beyond duty. "I'll do it," he said, his voice steady. "I'll help you." Her expression softened, and for the first time, she smiled, a radiant, otherworldly smile that seemed to light up the forest around them. "Thank you, Marcus. Perhaps there is hope yet." As they set off toward the core, the glowing forest seemed to watch them, its bioluminescence flickering like a heartbeat. Marcus had no idea what lay ahead, but he knew one thing for certain: this encounter had changed everything. The stars, vast and indifferent, now felt just a little smaller, and the connection he shared with Lena hinted at truths he was only beginning to understand. The path to the core wasn't marked by physical landmarks or terrain, but by a shift in the very fabric of reality. Marcus and Lena stood at the edge of a sprawling canyon that pulsed with light, its walls shimmering as though alive. At its center, an abyss stretched infinitely downward, the air above rippling like water disturbed by an unseen force. This was the rift Lena had spoken of, a barrier between dimensions and a gateway to the planet's dying core. "Once we cross this threshold," Lena said, her voice tinged with apprehension, "the rift will test our bond. It will seek to unravel us, pulling at our weakest threads. We must remain united, no matter what it shows us." Marcus nodded, adjusting the straps of his gear. "I faced some pretty intense situations in my time, but nothing like this." "What exactly are we walking into?" Marcus asked. Lena hesitated, her glowing eyes scanning the swirling chasm. "The rift reflects the energy of those who enter it. For me, it will exploit my pain, my failures. For you, I cannot say, your kind's energy is unknown to this place, but that may make it even more unpredictable." Her admission made Marcus's stomach tighten, but he pushed the fear aside. He reached out his hand, hovering near hers. "We've come this far, whatever happens, we face it together." Her lips curved into a faint smile, and she took his hand. The contact sent a jolt through both of them, their energies mingling in a way that was becoming familiar yet still foreign. With a deep breath, they stepped into the rift. The descent was immediate and disorienting, the ground beneath their feet dissolved, replaced by a swirling void of light and shadow. Gravity became a suggestion rather than a rule, and Marcus felt himself floating, tethered only by his grip on Lena's hand. The space around them shifted constantly, forming shapes and images that flickered in and out of existence. Marcus saw fragments of memories, his first mission as a starship captain, the faces of long-lost friends, moments of triumph and failure, but the memories didn't just play out, they seemed alive, tugging at him, pulling him toward them. "Lena," he called out, his voice echoing strangely in the void, "are you seeing this?" She nodded, her expression strained. "The rift is trying to distract you. Focus on our bond, do not let it pull you away." Marcus tightened his grip on her hand, anchoring himself. But the rift wasn't done, the shapes around him shifted, taking on forms that weren't his own memories. He saw Lena standing alone in a vast, empty landscape, her body trembling as she reached out for something, or someone, who wasn't there. Lena, he said gently, what is this? Her glow dimmed slightly, and she averted her gaze. My failure, she admitted. I was tasked with protecting the core, with ensuring the survival of my people, but I failed. They left this world, retreating to a realm beyond my reach. I remained behind, hoping to repair the damage, but the core continued to weaken. I am the last, and still, I am not enough. Her voice cracked, and Marcus felt a pang of sympathy so strong it nearly overwhelmed him. He reached out, placing a hand on her shoulder. You're not alone anymore. Whatever this place throws at us, we'll face it together. She looked at him, her opalescent eyes shimmering with a mixture of gratitude and vulnerability. Thank you, Marcus. I don't deserve your kindness, but I will not squander it. As their bond strengthened, the void around them grew turbulent. The rift, sensing their unity, lashed out with greater intensity. Shadowy figures emerged from a swirling light, their forms flickering like static. They bore no distinct features but radiated malice, their presence pressing down on Marcus like a physical weight. What are those? Marcus asked, his voice tense. Lena's grip on his hand tightened. Manifestations of the curse, they are drawn to the core's energy and to ours. They will try to sever our connection. The words hit harder than Marcus expected, and for a moment he faltered. The shadow pressed closer, feeding off his hesitation, but then he felt Lena's hand squeeze his, her energy flowing into him like a lifeline. Do not listen to it, she said firmly. The rift knows your doubts, your fears, it seeks to isolate you. Focus on me, on us. Marcus took a deep breath, centering himself. You're right, this thing doesn't define me. With a surge of resolve, he stepped forward, the shadow dissolving into mist. Lena's glow brightened, her strength bolstered by his determination. Together, they pushed forward, their bond a shield against the rift's assaults. As they descended deeper, the void began to stabilize its chaos, giving way to a surreal landscape. Islands of glowing crystal floated in the air, connected by shimmering bridges of light. In the distance, a massive sphere of pulsating energy loomed, the core. Marcus felt its presence like a heartbeat, steady but faint. That's it, isn't it? Lena nodded, her expression resolute. Yes, but the curse will be strongest here. We must prepare for one final trial. The ground beneath them trembled, and the shadows coalesced into a massive, writhing form. It towered over them, its many limbs stretching out like tendrils of darkness. Its voice boomed, a cacophony of whispers and screams, you will not succeed. This world is ours. Marcus drew himself up, his resolve unshaken. Not if we have anything to say about it. Lena stepped beside him, her glow intensifying. Together, Marcus, we fight as one. Their energies merged, creating a radiant barrier that repelled the shadow's attacks. For every strike the creature launched, they countered with unwavering unity. Marcus felt Lena's strength flowing into him, and she, in turn, drew on his determination. They were no longer separate beings but a single harmonious force. With a final surge of energy, they struck the shadow down, its form dissolving into the void. The path to the core was clear, but the strain of the battle had taken its toll. Marcus felt exhaustion creeping in, and Lena's glow flickered weakly. We're almost there, Marcus said, his voice firm despite his fatigue. Let's finish this. Lena looked at him, her gaze filled with trust and something deeper, something unspoken. Yes, let us save this world together. The closer Marcus and Lena approached the core, the more the world around them seemed to dissolve into raw energy. The crystalline islands floated in chaotic orbits, colliding and reforming in a never-ending dance. The core itself hovered at the center of this maelstrom, a massive sphere of pulsating light that seemed alive, its glow flickering like the heartbeat of a dying giant. But it wasn't just the core they had to contend with, the curse had not been defeated, it had only retreated, gathering its strength. Marcus could feel it now, an oppressive presence pressing down on him, whispering doubts into the recesses of his mind. Lena stumbled beside him, clutching her abdomen where her glow was weakest. The curse, it's tied to me, Marcus. I can feel it feeding off my energy. If I falter, it will consume me and the core. Marcus placed a steadying hand on her shoulder. You're not doing this alone. We're in this together. Remember? Her opalescent eyes met his, and she nodded, drawing strength from his unwavering resolve. The path to the core was not linear, the bridges of light twisted and shifted as if alive, forcing them to navigate an ever-changing labyrinth. As they stepped onto one of the bridges, it shattered beneath their feet, sending them plummeting into the void. Marcus reached out instinctively, grabbing Lena's hand as they fell. Energy swirled around them, distorting their perceptions. For a moment, Marcus wasn't sure if he was falling or floating, but his grip on Lena anchored him to reality. The void spat them out onto another crystalline platform. They landed hard, their breaths coming in ragged gasps. Lena's glow dimmed further, and Marcus could see the strain etched on her face. The core is close, she said weakly, gesturing to the massive sphere of light ahead, but the curse will not let us reach it without a final fight. As if in response to her words, the air around them darkened and the shadows began to coalesce once more. This time, they didn't take vague forms but manifested into monstrous shapes, hulking beasts with glowing red eyes and jagged, shifting bodies. They're stronger now, Marcus said, stepping protectively in front of Lena. They feed on the core's decay, Lena replied, and on my failure. The largest of the shadow creatures lunged, its massive clawed hand swiping at Marcus. He dodged, narrowly avoiding the strike, and countered by drawing his plasma blade. The weapon's bright blue light cut through the shadow like a knife through smoke, but the creature reformed almost instantly. They can't be destroyed like this. Marcus shouted. No, Lena said, rising to her feet despite her weakened state, but they can be dispelled. She raised her hands, and her glow intensified, enveloping her in a radiant aura. The shadows recoiled, hissing like steam. Lena's voice resonated with an authority Marcus hadn't heard before. Marcus, your energy can stabilize me, but I must channel it directly. Trust me. Marcus hesitated only for a moment before stepping closer. What do I need to do? He asked. Place your hand here, she said, guiding him to the center of her abdomen where her glow was weakest. Focus on our connection, let your energy flow freely into me. He obeyed, his hand pressing gently against her shimmering skin. The sensation was immediate and overwhelming, a surge of warmth and light that spread through both of them. Lena gasped, her body arching slightly as her brightness intensified. Is it your finger inside, or something else? I feel it, but I'm enjoying it, it's good. Marcus flushed but kept his focus. It's just my hand. Let's stay on task. Her lips curved into a faint smile, and her glow stabilized. The energy exchange was unlike anything Marcus had experienced. He could feel her life force merging with his, their essences intertwining in a way that defied logic. It was intimate, profound, and oddly exhilarating. With her newfound strength, Lena unleashed a wave of radiant light that swept across the platform, obliterating the shadow creatures. The curse screamed in defiance, its voice a cacophony of rage and despair, before retreating to the core. The way forward was clear, but both Marcus and Lena were visibly drained. We don't have much time, she said, her voice steady but weary. The curse is retreating to the core. If we don't act now, it will consume everything. Marcus helped her to her feet, his determination unshaken. Then let's finish this. The final approach to the core was surreal. The energy sphere pulsed with increasing intensity, its long, shifting shadows seeming alive. The curse had taken root at its center, a dark mass that spread like a cancer, feeding off the core's life force. Lena paused, her expression grave. I must merge with the core to cleanse it, but the process will make me vulnerable, Marcus. I will need you to shield me from the curse's final assault. Marcus's heart clenched at her words. Merge with the core. What does that mean for you? Her gaze softened. I do not know, perhaps I will survive, perhaps I will not, but this is my duty, and my failure will not define me. No, Marcus said firmly, we'll find another way. We've come too far for this to end with you sacrificing yourself. Lena placed a hand on his cheek, her touch warm and reassuring. Marcus, your humanity is your greatest strength, but sometimes there is no other way. Trust me, he said. He didn't want to accept it, but there was no time to argue. As Lena stepped toward the core, Marcus positioned himself between her and the dark mass at its center. The curse lashed out tendrils of shadow, striking at them with unrelenting fury. Marcus fought with everything he had, his plasma blade slicing through the tendrils as Lena's glow brightened behind him. The core began to pulse in harmony with her energy, its light growing stronger as she merged with it. The curse roared, its tendrils thrashing wildly as it tried to sever the bond. Marcus gritted his teeth, refusing to let it pass. He was battered, his movements growing sluggish, but he held the line, protecting Lena with every ounce of strength he had. Finally, with a burst of blinding light, the core erupted its energy, washing over everything. The curse let out one last anguished scream before disintegrating, its presence erased from the rift. As the light faded, Marcus turned to find Lena lying at the base of the core. Her glow was faint but steady, her breathing shallow. He rushed to her side, his heart pounding. Lena, are you okay? He asked urgently. Her eyes fluttered open, and she managed a weak smile. The core is saved, thanks to you. Marcus helped her sit up, relief flooding through him. You scared the hell out of me, she chuckled softly, the sound like a distant melody. I suppose I owe you for more than just my life. You've shown me something I thought I had lost, a bond stronger than any energy. Their gazes met, and in that moment no words were necessary, their connection transcended the need for explanation, a bond forged in chaos and strengthened by trust. But as the rift began to stabilize, Marcus couldn't shake the feeling that their journey was far from over. The core had been saved, but the future of their bond and their worlds remained uncertain. The rift pulsed with quiet energy, its chaotic maelstrom now calmed by the restored balance of the core. Marcus sat beside Lena, her faint glow illuminating her weary but serene face. The quiet was deceptive, a fragile peace holding after their battle with the curse, yet Marcus couldn't shake the sinking feeling in his chest. You did it, he said softly, his voice carrying a mix of awe and unease. You saved your world. Lena nodded, her expression bittersweet. The core is stable again, but its balance requires a constant presence. It will need me to remain here, merged with it, until the connection is strong enough to sustain itself. Her words hit him like a blow. Wait, what do you mean, merged? For how long? Marcus asked. Lena hesitated, her luminous eyes meeting his. Perhaps cycles, perhaps forever. I don't know. The core is tied to this world, to survival, and now to me. If I leave it, everything we fought for will unravel. Marcus stood abruptly, pacing in frustration. There's got to be another way. We broke the curse, you don't have to sacrifice yourself for this. Lena rose to her feet as well, though her movements were slower, her energy still rebuilding. This is not sacrifice, Marcus. This is my purpose. My failure to protect the core brought it to the brink of collapse. You gave me the strength to fight for it again, for my people, for my world, and for us. Marcus turned to her, his voice raw with emotion. How is this for us, Lena? How does this end with us being together? Her eyes softened, and she stepped closer, her glowing hand brushing his cheek. The warmth of your touch calms the storm raging within me. Our bond is eternal, Marcus, it transcends time, space, even the divide between worlds. You have shown me love, not in words or myths, but in action, and that love will endure even if we are apart. He wanted to argue, to refuse her logic, but the conviction in her voice left no room for denial. I can't just leave you here, he said, his voice breaking, not after everything we've been through. Her smile was radiant, though her tears shimmered like starlight. You are not leaving me, you carry me with you, as I carry you across the stars. I will feel your presence, and you will feel mine. Before he could respond, the ground beneath them began to rumble. The core flared its light, enveloping Lena in a cocoon of energy. She looked at Marcus one last time, her gaze filled with unspoken words. Go now, she said, her voice echoing with the power of the core, you have a universe to explore. Marcus, live, love, and remember me. The light consumed her, and Marcus felt the connection between them surge, a final, overwhelming flood of warmth and emotion that left him breathless. Then she was gone, her form dissolving into the core's radiance. When Marcus emerged from the rift, the planet was transformed. The sky shimmered with hues of blue and violet, and the bioluminescent forests glowed brighter than before. The oppressive weight of the curse was gone, replaced by a serene stillness. The ecliptica awaited him, its systems fully restored, as if the planet itself had willed it. He boarded the ship, his body moving on autopilot as he ascended through the atmosphere. He gazed down at GTH-7, its beauty now unmarred by the darkness that had plagued it, but he felt no triumph, only an ache where Lena's presence had been. She was part of the core, now part of the world she had fought to save, and part of him. He placed a hand over his chest, where he swore he could still feel the faint warmth of their bond. Years passed, and Marcus became a legend among humanity. His discovery of GTH-7 and its energy core revolutionized interstellar travel and resource management, yet he spoke little of the planet's guardian, keeping Lena's memory close to his heart. He returned to the planet whenever he could, standing beneath its glowing sky, eyes lifted and listening for the faint melody of her presence. It was always there, a soft hum in the air, a warmth in his chest, a reminder that their bond endured. On one such visit, as he stood by the shimmering stream where they had first met, he heard her voice, not in words, but in the wind that rustled through the glowing trees. It was a song, faint but unmistakable, carrying her essence across the void. He smiled, tears streaming down his face. I feel you, Lena, always, he said, as he turned to leave. A single beam of light from the core pierced the sky, as if reaching out to him. He raised a hand in return, his heart full of both sorrow and joy. Their love had defied the curse, transcended worlds, and lit the path for humanity's future. And though they were separated by the boundaries of existence, they would never truly be apart, for in every pulse of energy, every flicker of light across the stars, Marcus felt his Lena, eternal and infinite.